All right, family. So Adrian is not here with me today, and this is going to be a pretty serious topic that I would like to discuss with you guys. I It's pretty hard for me to talk about this. I recently discovered that I I recently discovered that South Africa doesn't sell Ralph Lauren Polo. Let's talk about this. Intro. All right, family, welcome back to our channel. I am Asad. Adrian is not here with us today because this is going to be a very short video that I want to talk with you guys about, and that is Polo SA is not Ralph Lauren Polo. And I want to shout out to our followers from South Africa who put me up on game on this. I was shocked, to say the least. I was totally shocked when I found this information out. Now, if you have followed this channel for a while, you may have noticed that I keep a horse on my shirt. I absolutely believe in horsepower. I am a polo connoisseur, and it has been that way since I was a little boy. And it started, I'm a Ralph Lauren polo connoisseur. And it started that way when I was a child, like for Christmas and Easter and Mardi Gras and special holidays. My mom would always buy me a polo shirt. You know, I wore regular or other brands to school, but Polo was set aside as a special shirt, you know, for special occasions. And that grew into a lifelong affinity for the brand. To this day, at 41 years old, the only shirt brand that I purchase and wear every day is Ralph Lauren Polo. Gotta have a horse on my shirt. I am a brand loyalist when it comes to Ralph Lauren. I have the shirts, the pants, the shoes, the socks. Shoot, I even got it. Can y'all see that? Even got a Polo mug for my coffee. I mean, I am a brand loyalist. So when I discovered that South African Polo or Polo South Africa was not affiliated with the brand, it just whoo, it took me by surprise. And as everyone knows, my wife and I and my family, my sons, are planning to move to South Africa very, very soon. And now I am in this headspace where I'm trying to figure out how will I be able to import Ralph Lauren Polo into South Africa. How will I be able to buy it? One of our YouTube followers suggested that we would have to, get it imported from London or the U.S. So now I'm trying to. This is part of my plan to move, is to try to figure out how will I be able, because I refuse. I'm telling you, I refuse to wear South African polo. If the horse is not facing the right way, I can't do it. I won't do it. I can't do it. So let's talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to insert some clips from a documentary that was done by Complex Magazine called Horsepower, which talks about the influence of this iconic brand, Ralph Lauren, on hip hop culture.
Polo is a great sort of metaphor for like the American dream, like whose dream is this, right? This is what the American dream wears.
To take our minds from the hood to even think bigger.
You can become whoever you want to be by dressing the part.
To this day, it's polo draws, polo socks. Man, come on, man. This is not, I didn't know I was doing this interview today. I didn't know I was doing this interview.
It was just an unbelievable shift of young kids who wanted to be or look like they were connecting to affluence. They believe and feel and like embody it, like to the point where they're gonna wear polo house rags hanging out their clothes. You're gonna go in their house and they'll have polo soap. You know what I'm saying? Like, but live in the projects.
Now, I can honestly say I didn't get my affinity for Ralph Lauren polo from hip hop culture, although I can say that it did influence it later on. Again, like I said, my mom used to buy Ralph Lauren for me when I was a child, like 5, 6 years old, and that was the shirts that we wore. But then once I got to high school, a polo shirt became the shirt that you wore, you know, on a date. You want on a date, you put on a polo shirt, or you want to go into a party and you want to impress someone. If you had on a nice polo shirt, man, you're doing it. So Polo by Ralph Lauren was founded in 1967, and it originally started off as a tie company and not a shirt company. But the market for Polo by Ralph Lauren was never urban America. It was never the hip hop community, code language. It was never really meant for African Americans. He marketed the brand to upper middle class white Americans, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. That was who the brand was created for. That's who Ralph had in mind when he created this brand. However, in the 80s, hip hop began to embrace Ralph Lauren, and in particular, boosters. And boosters are thieves. Thieves who steal, or shoplifters. They would steal clothes from the Ralph Lauren store in New York in particular, and they were called the lowlives.
There's a difference between people who wear polo and the way lowlifes wear polo. You know, we did it from head to toe, so.
Yeah. One of one. Sample boots, one of one.
We taught a lot of people how to do it from head to toe. That means your socks, your drawers, your everything. Like, I remember back in the days, we used to do this thing called drawers check. Drawers check.
White beater is low. Get him.
White
Drawers.
belt.
Get him. Everything low. Everything low, son. Ralph on everything.
You a fraud. You ain't got no low drawers, then you half stepping. You know?
Prior to '88, there was like 2 other polo crews. It was the Ralphie's Kids, who represented St. John's and Utica. And then you had a crew called USA, United Shoplifters Association, that represented Brownsville, Brooklyn. And you know, fortunately, I lived in both areas. So I decided to unite both crews.
And at that time, Brownsville, Crown Heights, Flatbush, Bed-Stuy didn't really mesh with each other. We said we're gonna get together and start our own team, and they was calling us Polo Posse, and we despised that name.
My friend Thurston Howell III, one day he was going out, we went and got him and go boosting. This girl said, "Damn, you always stealing something, god damn it." He's like, "Yo, you a low life, man, you the lowest of the low." And he said, "You know what, we always call this shit low. I am a low life, you right."
Low lives were a group of people who fell in love with the brand. Most couldn't afford to buy the brand in the stores, so they were boosters, they were shoplifters, and they would steal out of the stores and they would sell some of the brand, as well as they would keep and wear it themselves. And they would have on the street fashion shows, on the corner fashion shows, where they would compare who had the most polo on from head to toe. Polo hat, glasses, shirts, socks, underwear, shoes, everything, right? So that group, the lowlives, actually began to influence other people in the New York community, mainly hip hop artists who were also from the same neighborhood, from the same socioeconomic status. And Polo began to be the go-to brand if you wanted to look like $1,000,000, right? So rappers begin to embrace the Polo brand. And today you see T.I. with Polo. You see Big Boy from Outkast with Polo. So Polo SA, or Polo South Africa, is owned by a group called the LA Group. And they are pretty hush-hush about this competing brand that they have developed with Ralph Lauren Polo. From what I have read, they have the copyright and trademark rights to sell exclusively in South Africa, and Ralph Lauren Polo cannot sell any clothing in South Africa under the Polo brand. However, they can sell cologne, but they cannot sell clothing under the Polo brand. So when you look at these two logos and these two brands side by side, it is very difficult to distinguish the two brands. The letters of the word Polo are pretty much identical, and the rider on the horse, the Polo rider, is pretty much identical. The only difference is that the rider on the Ralph Lauren Polo horse is riding from the left, and the rider from the South African Polo horse, he's on the South African Polo horse, he's riding in from the right. He's facing right. So, or he's riding in from the right, looking left. Ralph Lauren is riding in from the left, looking right. So that is about the only like eye-catching difference. And if you're not a Polo brand connoisseur, you may never notice this difference. You never care. But for those of us who are brand loyalists, this is a pretty big deal. Now, I'm not sure how popular the South African Polo brand is, but the Ralph Lauren Polo brand in the United States is easily the most iconic American apparel brand ever. It spans across generations. It spans across cultures. It spans across socioeconomic statuses. Ralph Lauren Polo is easily the most iconic American brand. So, you know, I just wanted to point that out and have this very short video on polos and South African polos and the difference, and to let you guys know I am really struggling with this, and to try to figure out how I will get my brand into South Africa. So anyway, this is a short video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can know when we drop new videos, and share this video on your other social media platforms. And we'll see you back soon with a more culturally in-depth subject. But I wanted to touch on this Polo thing right quick, you know, and horsepower. Outro.